Welcome to Sipping Reality with Jill and
Megan.
Well, we have been really overwhelmed by the remarkable feedback that we've been receiving on both the blog and podcast. So we want to remind you to like and subscribe. But also, if you're really enjoying it, please share with anyone you think would enjoy us also. And if you really feel led, go to sippingreality.com and donate so we can continue to put out content for you.
We're
Hi.
Hey everybody. We're starting a new style today. We're trying it out.
Style.
We want to move more towards doing our video recordings.
We recorded today the funniest blooper ever.
Oh my god, that was funny.
We still have to share it with you somehow. I'm not sure. We'll have to put it on social media. Check out our Instagram and Facebook. We'll post it on there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to do a video on there with our blooper.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We can make it a story, maybe? Or is it too long for a story?
Yeah, we're doing a new style today. We have a blooper from trying to record our intro.
Hilarious.
It's really bad many times over.
Yeah, I think it took us an hour. Oh, it's 12:25 already. I think it took us over an hour to get a 26-second intro recorded.
I can't even.
It was hilarious.
It was funny.
Yeah, we deleted a lot of hilarious content, but we did save the best little clip.
Yeah, we've been talking and we decided that we really want to just sit here and have our tea and have a conversation with each other, not really think ahead of time what we want to talk about, and we do want to move towards having a video recording, so it's, you know, more styled towards
so
sitting at a table.
Our beautiful faces.
Oh my gosh, yes. Sitting at a table, having our pot of tea, sipping on it, just like our title, Sipping Reality. Right? And just having a conversation and shooting the shit.
Well, that was always our plan, that we were just going to record us talking. What we wanted to do from the start. And then I think you feel like this need, I felt this need to be more formal or something. Yeah. Once you have a microphone in your mouth.
Yeah, well, like I noticed when we were recording our last episode, like we were looking away from each other while we were talking. Like we weren't having a conversation.
Megan wasn't. She was staring right at me, and I was actively looking away from her to try and focus. Right now. She does that a lot when we record, as you know, because we've said it before.
Well, so it was on my mind again when we were recording last time, and I'm like, I think the vibe would be totally different if we were like we thought about from the very beginning. Sitting at a table together, having our tea, looking at each other, having a discussion, and that's what we are gearing towards and moving towards. So we worked hard today to record an intro so we could just press record and not play.
Yes, that is the whole point that we're getting at, is that we need an intro recorded so that we can then just record our conversation.
Yeah.
So my kid's school had a 2-hour delay yesterday. It was not because of the weather, even though it's been like -9 and -6 degrees overnight. It was 0 degrees this morning, I think, when my kids went out for the bus. Actually, my car said -2, like an hour after they were already in school. Maybe
it was cold maybe half hour. My pipes. Oh, shoot, my pipes. Oh my God, I have 2 heaters running at my house with my oven on right now.
Well, yesterday, yeah. That's not good.
No, my kitchen sink is not turning on.
Or your toilet.
I could go back to my house with either a fire or a flood.
Sure, both. Your house can be on fire and flooding.
Oh, God.
I think the police would have called you by now, though. Somebody would have called it in.
It's still not great.
No, it's not.
I need to go check on my house.
Do you have a neighbor you could call?
No, I have my ex to call. That's.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Do that right while we're on our podcast.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna text him right now
and be like, "Can you go check the house? Because I'm working."
Can you go?
So yesterday at 3 a.m. In the morning, there was a bus fire at the garage where the school buses are kept. Some new electric buses that had never been in use just caught fire when it was like -6 degrees at 3 a.m. in the morning. And so my children's school had a 2-hour delay. It's strange, right? If you guys understand how that could happen and know what that's all about, just leave a comment. Let me know. Because I'd be really curious to understand how that is not extremely concerning.
Yeah.
That
And
school buses, just electric school buses that
just catch on fire.
just catch on fire
You know, it reminds
in
me
the middle of the night in the freezing cold.
It reminds me of the fires. What people are saying, fires are starting from those new smart meters,
Oh,
right? That's what it reminded me of when you said that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been nervous to let them install the new one at my house.
I don't think you... Do you really have a choice, though?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I didn't
They'll
think
charge
so.
you or whatever. They'll charge you like more for not usage because they're going to say that you're not getting like, they're not recording the proper usage. So they'll charge you more than normal.
Oh, that's so sketchy.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, they're super. I mean, look at what they jack the usage price up during the time when you use it the most. I mean, that should be illegal.
Yes. Service fees on heat go from like $20 a month to like $120 a month, $150
I paid
a month.
$120 a month last month, and the month before, and then last month's bill was $244.
That's still pretty cheap. I'm surprised, though.
But that's a huge jump in 30 days.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't that much cooler.
no.
We did have a little...
I didn't use more than I did last month.
That much. No, because they do. They up the service charge. Yeah. I think we saw it last year and the year before where it was like $20 or something in the summertime. And then in the winter it goes up to like $120, $150 just for delivery charge. It's really weird.
Yeah. Oh, so what's on your mind today?
I don't think our listeners
can't-
really want to hear what's on my mind today.
No, maybe
I am
we
in a space.
Yeah, maybe we can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
That's for like future episodes.
Yeah, sometimes our life is not content that we're able to share right now, but maybe someday in the future.
Yeah. I'll tell you, though, when it's really cold like this, I've been daydreaming all morning about warm weather and summer dresses and the beach and freedom. It feels very, I don't know.
I have not been able to stop thinking about bikinis, sundresses, and the beach.
I just feel so isolated when it's cold. Like there's a lack of freedom and movement.
I don't feel isolated. I feel like I want to isolate. I feel like I want to be in my bed under my heated blanket 100% of the time and not move. I just want a constant supply of cinnamon buns and tea or something delicious like that.
I want a cinnamon bun.
Wouldn't that be delicious right now?
We used to make those all the time.
Pan Dolcetti has those really good cinnamon buns. Maybe we should go get some
Yeah.
if your house is good.
If it's not on fire.
Yeah, or flooded, or both.
Yeah. I hope not.
We should have done that.
My ex said he'll head over, but he's sure the fire department would call if there was something. And I said, well, I'd like to not wait for a call from the fire department. I'd like to check on the house. Oh my God. He said, obviously, whatever.
Obviously he was trying to not go over there and check on it.
No, he said he would head over. I
What
do
a
want a
nice
cinnamon
guy.
bun, though.
He's such a great guy.
He is super. I do want a cinnamon bun. And we used to make bread and cinnamon buns all the time, and we don't do that anymore.
I didn't do it all the time. I did it every once in a while.
Well, not all the time, but I mean, we
bread
made
all the
different
time.
things.
I made bread all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We made
Fresh milled bread.
Yeah. What else did we make?
You know what the truth is? I'm just gonna bust out with the truth. The truth is that I'm really tired of freaking dating today.
Oh,
I think it's really
she's going
bullshit.
there. She's going there.
I'm going there because to not talk about it is to sit here and talk about stupid stuff
She was
that you guys
stretching.
don't really want to hear about.
She was
You
literally
wanna
stretching
hear-
and then came in with that.
That's why we need video so they can see all our weirdness. They get to hear our weirdness, but they don't get to see our weirdness behind the scenes.
I can give an
That's happening.
illustration until then.
I'm sure you will. But seriously, I mean, everywhere you go, people are talking about the dating scene today. It's not a new topic. I'm aware of this. But really, to be in it is absolutely maddening to the point where I want a brick wall. I said that funny. A brick wall in front of me where I could just bash my head on it.
Well, it
I'm
feels...
so over it.
Yeah, it feels like that's what I'm doing, is bashing my head against a wall.
Yeah, like, I can't just... some people can. I can't just go around and just be with a bunch of men. Like, just, okay, let me just not care and let me just throw my body out there and around. But, you know, I am in this, like, little... What do we call it? Should I just be straightforward?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm in my sexual prime as far as my life far up to this point. I have never desired a physical touch the way that I do now. And
maybe that's a biological thing.
Well, some of it is, because even when I was young, I used to hear about women, older women, cougars, how they're in their prime sexually, and how, like, biologically women tend to be in their prime later when men tend to be in their prime younger.
Well, because we're going to be going into menopause and our body's like, have a baby now!
Yeah, and we don't actually want babies, but it doesn't mean that our body's not craving that. So this is the dilemma, right? Like, been with the same man for 14 years, finally single, spent a year alone, then it all came back, want to get out there. There's just a lot of creepy people out there. You don't just want to go putting yourself all around.
No.
But then you meet, like, a decent guy, and you're like, yes. And then it's even great, and they think it's great. And then, you know, you look at your phone for days and nothing. Mm-hmm. And you're like, what just happened?
Or it just gets weird and
yeah,
there's no progression.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's people playing games. Like, I used to always talk about games. Oh, I don't want to play games. I don't think some people play games, but I don't think most people are intentionally playing games. I think we're all worried and nervous. I was telling Megan, actually, I sent it to her. Did you end up watching it? That little clip I sent? What was it? It was a reel or a short or whatever. I don't know which one it was. I get them all confused.
I don't know.
But it was this video
so many
of this guy that was trying to pretending to explain to, like, an 85-year-old the dating scene today. And he was like, yeah, you know how you used to, like, meet a pretty girl and you'd ask her out on a date and you'd go out a couple times and then you'd get married and have babies and live your life and it was great. He's like, well, today you meet a pretty girl and online on an app and you go out and then you don't know whether you should text her a lot or not text her a lot because the last girl liked a lot of texts, but the girl before that didn't like a lot of texts. So now you're trying to figure out how many texts this girl likes. And then you find out that you're in competition with this, like, prince in Spain over her DMing her, and so you're trying to be more charming than this dude who's all the way across the country on her DMs, but you feel like you've been texting too much, so then you've got to stop. Like, that's not even people playing games. That's just us. I don't know. What do we call that?
I don't even know.
Bang my head against a wall?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Like, where's the brick wall? Because I want it. Because, you know, I'm not trying to play games here, but I feel like it's impossible to not play games. Because I'm not going to keep texting you. I'm not chasing you. I'm happy to respond. I'm happy to send a first text. I'm happy to just be me. But when you're not giving that consistency back, it's really, it gets confusing. And then you're like, ooh, okay. Well, maybe he's avoidant. Now I need to pull back. And then it ends up a game.
It ends up a game in your head, at least.
Yes.
And it's super frustrating.
Yes.
Because I'm like, what? How did I get here? Because, like, I'm okay being alone. Like, really. I'm like, I'm fine being alone. But, like, I don't care if you text me. I'm not.
But our bodies are not okay being alone.
No.
Because they really desire.
I mean, even just cuddling.
Something. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I
have a hard time with just cuddling.
Well, I mean, I desire that too, like, at the same time.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
And you can't do that with somebody that you have a one-night stand with.
Yep. Oh, yes, I get what you're saying now. I'm with you. Yep.
Yeah. So there's that too. So it's like, awesome. I could find sex at the drop of a dime, but I don't want to do that.
No, and we wouldn't. I mean, men are always like, oh, you probably go on so many dates. I'm like, yeah, I could get a date every day if I wanted, but I don't want to spend time with all these people. I'm not looking for some guy to just spend money on me. I actually want, the cuddling, the companionship of...
Yeah, I want to go out and have fun,
Yeah, go do things.
go
see a show, go dancing.
Comedy shows.
Play pool,
come home,
I don't care. Anything.
And roll around the bed. Cuddle.
All
watch
of
a
it.
movie. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, and not all the time. But somebody consistently to have that with. But even when you don't put too much pressure on it or put a label on it or anything, it still gets so weird so quick.
Yeah.
And
I'm not too sure how to proceed in this.
No. And then when I communicate that and I say, hey, what's going on here? It doesn't stop it from being weird.
No, it doesn't.
And then you're having to tell somebody how to treat you constantly, and then it turns you off, and then you get bored, and you're like, I'm all set.
I should not have to, write a book on how to treat me.
No. But I don't think that the guy is necessarily playing games either. I think he's trying to figure out, okay, what does this woman want, or how much to give, and maybe something we do in response to what he's trying to figure out turns him off, or he gets bored, or something. I don't know. But all these connections, it's like just constant connections with people that just break. And it's like, oh, I gotta do this all over again now?
I know,
What
that's how
the
it feels.
heck?
That feeling, what you just said. Oh, I have to do this. I just spent months getting to know this person and having a really great connection, and now it's over. And I mean, that was the last 6 months of my life.
Yep.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I have to do that all over again.
And you don't
now?
even get years of it.
Just to find out 6 months later that it might end up in the same place. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
And I don't and I say this, we say this all the time. I don't want to become an avoidant.
Yes.
And avoid relationships and being open to finding a partner or whatever, but it's to the point where I feel exhausted to do this process over and over and over again because it takes time. That was really loud. That ice was wow.
Yeah, it was probably really loud in the mic.
Yeah.
It did it right when I was passing by the mic, and I was trying to be really quiet.
I don't know. I lost my
Did you
train
hear
of
that?
thought. No. What?
You were talking about how exhausting it is.
It is. It's exhausting.
And not becoming avoidant and not knowing if you're going to put all this effort in and start to fall for this person.
What I was saying is...
to end and end and end.
Right, what I was saying is it takes time. Always. I mean, no matter what, it takes time to discern people, to get to know each other, to see if you even want that kind of relationship or any relationship. It always takes time. So it's to do that over and over again when the connections keep breaking and it's damn, I don't want to be an avoidant, but I'm tired.
I'm so over being anxious. That's not happening.
I don't want to do that.
There.
Yeah, that's.
But I do feel anxiety, but so do avoidance. Avoidance feel anxiety.
Yeah.
I think the only one that doesn't feel anxiety is the people who are psychopaths.
Yeah.
Maybe they do too.
And I find myself super overly thoughtful sometimes. I'm should I text? Should I wait?
Yes.
And I'm I don't know.
I didn't worry about that. But the difference is when I was in my 20s, before I got married, there was no texting.
Right?
It was phone calls. So you'd wait for a phone call, but you're not expecting somebody to call you all day or call you every morning and say good morning. There's so much more interaction to wait for and to consider today than there used to be.
Well,
with texting.
And also to trust, you make plans on Monday, you don't feel like you have to communicate until your plan on Friday.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's so true. It's if you have a date set up, okay, I saw you on Monday, we have a date set up for Friday. Okay, well, I know I'm seeing this person on Friday, and I might be anticipating that day, but I'm not wondering if he's going to text me every day in the meantime, or he's going to, all of a sudden he was saying good morning every day, and now we have this date, and now he's not saying anything, and now it's weird, whereas, 20 years ago, it was just okay, well, we have plans on Friday, I'll see him then. Yeah, then I'd anticipate it.
I think the expectations,
changed.
In general, have changed. I mean,
technology has completely
even with
changed.
friendships, it's they read messages, read receipts.
Ghosting and being left on read, all this new language it's a whole new language that we have.
I should never feel even if I read your text and I didn't have time to respond, people get overly anxious that they were left unread.
And
offended.
And yet, Megan, if I can call you out, that happens to
Please
her
do.
constantly. But then when it happens to her, she's anxious. She's like, wait, but he hasn't messaged me back. And I'm like, but Megan, you do that to people all the time.
I don't always do that.
No, but she does do that.
I do.
And so it's like, oh, so annoying that this person's being so needy, but then all of a sudden somebody does it to you, and it does make you wonder. You're like, oh, well, clearly they read it. I prefer for people not to be able to see when I read their text.
Well, that's why
I'm busy.
I really do put into practice in my mind, like, we all have lives. And there are some people I have conversations with online, and I don't hear from them for a couple days, and they're like, I'm sorry, and I'm like, you have a life, like, you have no reason to be sorry. And I put it out of my mind. I assume the best.
Yeah, people are constantly apologizing for not responding right away. I'm like, dude, it's only been an hour. You have a life. Go live your life. You do not have to message me back.
Even if it's been a day or two, I assume the best in those situations. Like, I practice doing that. Like, I'm assuming that you're busy. I'm assuming that you had something come up. I am not assuming the worst.
Until you've been on a few dates with a guy, you really like him.
Well,
and
that's
you finally
different.
Slept with him, and then all of a sudden he's not texting you for a couple days, and he was before.
That's
now
totally
you're
different.
Like,
that can cause a super insecurity to not hear from somebody.
Right?
Yeah, no.
And then you're sitting here like, what the heck?
No.
And maybe you weren't even sure how you felt about the person yet. You were just... things were going good and you don't know, but now all of a sudden you're all wrapped up in this madness in your mind.
Well,
it's hard
really it's hard not to be wrapped up in it. Especially you and I think you and I, not just people that psychoanalyze everything go through this, but you and I psychoanalyze everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's even harder.
To an extreme degree.
Yeah,
yes.
We really do.
Yeah, and it's so good. I wouldn't change it about me for anything, but there are times
it
where
can be
it's
a curse.
You don't have to psychoanalyze that. Last night, I recognized that when we were talking. I'm like, we don't have to psychoanalyze that.
Right.
There's a reason. There can be a reason why sometimes we shouldn't waste time psychoanalyzing something.
Yeah, and I think, we're learning.
We are.
We're learning.
We're always learning.
We are. We have so much more to learn.
Always.
Yes, always.
And probably an extreme amount. I'm sure in 20 years we'll look back and be like, wow, we knew nothing back then.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm positive of it, actually.
Me too.
And yet, I can look at 20 years ago and be like, wow.
Yeah.
I needed some major help back then. Like, oh my God, how did I even survive?
I know. I was thinking about my ex-boyfriend when I was a teenager, and I was like, wow, I was in a really dark place to have allowed that into my life.
Oh, stuff like that, yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's horrific trying to tell somebody my history, because I'm like, well, yeah, that was my life. I
think
did
the
that.
hardest
I
part
chose that.
about going through that is like seeing others go through that now and not being able to impart that on them.
Well, I've written some blogs. Some of my blogs have kind of
That
integrated
last one,
that feeling.
The fire. That was a good one.
That's in the Hieroglyphs of the Heart. That's not in the Living Journal blog.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, was talking about that.
You can't, if you go back, you can't pull people out if they don't want to come out. You just can't.
What was the blog I wrote too, though, where I was saying about the door, like the open door? The open door had a little bit of that in it too.
Yeah.
Even you, I know you, and even you, I can't impart this wisdom on. That's not the word I used in the blog, but yeah. I've been writing about that lately because I feel that all the time. And if somebody's not there, they're just not ready to hear and understand what you're trying to express to them, that there's healing beyond where they're at. And I remember being there where people would try and tell me this thing, and I just, it couldn't register in my mind what they really meant. And
usually you become very frustrated with the person and not yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, trying to impart that on you. And it's like, I don't know, it's easy to be like, who do you think you are? I mean, you think you're so perfect, you know?
That attitude, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I've even more so, just from recent experiences, understood, like, if people aren't ready to hear it, you're going to be the villain.
No, but it also is, it can be worthy of at least sharing it, because it does help. it did help me when I was ready to see certain things to recognize, wow, this is what that person was saying. And then it did help move me along the path to have heard it. So I do think it's important to share, but to share in a way where you have an expectation that they're going to understand and then actually take that and apply it is where things go icky.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because even you, sometimes I'll say things to you and you'll be like, you totally get it, but that doesn't mean you're going to do it. You even know you're not going to do it. And you're like, Jill, I hear you and you're totally right, but I'm not doing that.
I'm not making that decision.
I'm not ready for that and it's not happening.
Yep.
And you're even fully conscious of everything.
Yeah.
And you still fully consciously admit that you're not going to take that advice. Yep, that's what I should do. And
you
why?
Are right.
And the reason why is exactly what you're saying, but I'm not doing that. Yep. I'm staying stuck right here in this because this is what I want right now. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll figure it out later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably when you're crying to me all upset and destroyed by it. But thank you. I will still be here because I love you.
I appreciate that.
Because you'll do it for me too.
Yes, I will.
I do it to myself too. This isn't all about Megan. It was just an example of something that happened recently that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Well, I think that's a great topic for today.
Yeah.
Dating today. I think that there's so much on it because we all can relate so deeply to it.
Well, it keeps coming up in our podcast episodes.
Yeah, but so many people, I mean, anyone who's not in a long-term relationship or marriage still can relate. I mean, then there's a lot of people who are married who are dating, and they can relate because they're out there, even though they're dating, there's a lot of ethical non-monogamy going on, a lot of poly, and then there's a lot of people who cheat and date and are in the dating scene. And so even people who are married might be able to relate to how challenging it is to actually connect with another human being on a real level.
Yeah, it's very challenging these days.
It is.
And I crave that, I crave that connection. So it's super hard to, I mean, even just the social connection, just being out.
Yeah, just friends and hanging out and getting out. What did we say last Friday? I'm like, we just need to go out in the world. Didn't I say something like that?
I'm like, you want to sit and have snacks and watch a show? You're like, we need to go out in the world tonight.
Didn't I say, like, we need to go be seen or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what I said, but I was just like, no, we need to go somewhere where
and then
we're
we
seen.
do, and nobody speaks to each other anymore. Not even the bartenders talk to you.
No, it was really, we just sat at a bar and shared a flatbread. And
whoever went to the bar
talked to no one.
Out with each other, it only speaks to each other.
The whole bar was packed.
Or they look at their phones.
There wasn't even a seat empty at the bar. And the bartender neither of the bartenders socialized with any of the bar guests. And none of the bar guests tried to talk to anybody outside of who they were with. Like, that's why you used to sit at the bar, to be more social and talk to more people.
And it's not there anymore.
No, I was a bartender for like 10 years in my 20s. That's what I did. And I
mean, even when I was younger, going out to the bar and being at the bar was a totally different experience than it is now. And that was only 10 years ago?
Even this summer,
15 years
we
ago?
went out at night late to a bar with tons of young people. We were actually a little old for that scene. We were out in Westerly, Rhode Island, going to this fun bar.
There was only 20-year-olds out there.
There was a lot of 20-year-olds. We weren't the oldest people there, but there was a lot of young people out. The bar was packed. There were people on the dance floor. There were people playing pool. All the tables were filled. There were people standing room only. I mean, it was lively. It was happening. And even there wasn't even an inkling of an opportunity to be social with anyone that we didn't come there with.
Yes.
It was not like it used to be before.
I mean, even like the munches that I've gone to with the kink community.
Not everybody knows what a munch is, though, so you might want to...
A munch is just like a local get-together at like a bar with
people who are in the kink community. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's there too. I'm like, we're in the same community, and I'm like,
only people who already know each other are interacting with each other.
They're not open. Their energy isn't open to like meet new people.
Yeah, it's not like you're at a party where you just socialize with everyone. It's like, no, you go and then you socialize with the people you go with or that you've already connected with.
It's baffling to me. And I'm a very social person. I tried to like penetrate that, and not even I could.
That was a good word.
Yeah, I think that's a good word.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard. It was even hard for me to try and break that barrier, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Megan is super social.
Yeah.
Like, will go up and talk to anyone.
Yep.
Loves it.
Yeah. And if it's hard for me, can you imagine?
Yeah, if you're feeling that way in a room full of people and a little awkward, imagine how somebody like me would be. How would I ever start talking to anybody?
You wouldn't. And somebody even less awkward than you would not.
Yeah.
At all. They would probably never go to something like that again. They would be totally intimidated.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody's so annoyed with this online dating, and people are like, oh, I don't do online dating. But honestly, if you're not on apps or websites and in these social circles online, it's not going to happen out there face to face. So it's the only way to connect. And then if you do go to a social event through people you met online, now you know people, and now you can go out and be social.
Right.
So therefore, it might not be ideal, but it is the way. And I'm not sure there's any other way to be social today.
No, there's not.
So if you see us out, please feel free to say hi, because we will say hi back.
Yeah, and we will be your friend. If you're cool. If you're not creepy. I don't know. It is really hard to be social, and I want to be out, and I want to make friends, and I want to date, but I'm like increasingly, and I don't want to become an avoidant, but I'm increasingly becoming very tired.
Yeah, I can't imagine having been out there this whole time. I mean, I have talked to people who've been divorced for 11 years, and they've been out in the dating scene for 11 years, and they're still out there, and they're still on apps, and they're still going on dates, and they're still meeting people, and I'm like, how? Very often they're also avoidants, so they're very capable of doing that without wearing out, because they're not becoming emotionally connected to anyone, right?
Yep.
And so it just becomes a great way of living, I guess, for them, where they can just go out and keep on moving to gain true lasting connection and not give up on that. It can be very burdensome, but I'm not gonna give up. I think I'm
not either.
Keep doing this, and we'll just keep coming here and talking about it. And
right.
Let you all know.
It's probably gonna come up over and over again.
Possibly. But we do hope that if you're out there in this scene and you are relating to our podcast today, that you also do not give up.
Yeah.
There are decent people out there, even if you have to weed through hundreds and thousands to get to that one, you know?
I mean, we're out here.
We are.
And we're awesome.
Maybe.
No, I think we are.
I think somebody's going to think
Don't be so humble.
Don't be so humble. I don't think I'm everybody's slice of cake, but I think I'm somebody's slice of cake.
Is that the same?
No, I just made it up. I made that up.
Do you like cake better than bread?
Cake better than bread?
It's a slice of bread.
Freaking
right. All right. That's why you did it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Not everybody's slice of bread? Maybe not. I don't know. Wait, what is it?
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea!
We're drinking our tea.
Sipping reality.
A sipping reality. Our podcast's all based on us sipping tea. And
she says slice of cake.
I said a slice of cake instead of cup of tea. Wow, that's interesting.
I'm not everybody's slice of cake.
I'm really
either.
hungry.
I am
and
too.
My sweet tooth is like on fire right now. So
I don't have any
like,
eggs.
When
There's like no eggs at the store.
You can take some from my house. You're in my home right now.
I need some eggs.
I only got 3 eggs from my chickens this week so far.
I
have 13 chickens.
It's winter. I got rid of my chickens.
I'm
so happy.
That's why she doesn't have any eggs.
I wouldn't have gotten any even if I had them. No, I would have had 3 eggs and it would have been gone yesterday.
So, yeah, anyways, cake, because now all I can think about is, some really moist chocolate cake.
Do you know what my favorite cake is? Have I ever made it for you? The screwball cake?
I don't know.
It's a great name, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very moist chocolate cake with a broiled coconut icing.
You did. Remember for your birthday years ago you made it and it didn't come out good. No. And remember you messed it up?
I screwed it up.
You did, and we ate it anyways, but you screwed it up somehow, and so it wasn't what it typically is. And you were like, no, and you were in that was when we were still married. That was years ago.
I gotta make that.
Yeah, that was probably like 5 years ago.
I think that's my favorite cake ever.
Oh, it's my birthday in a week.
It's kind of close to the German
chocolate cake.
Is that?
No, it's your own little.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it anywhere. My mom said that she got that recipe from because the recipe doesn't call for eggs, and so it was made when there was some kind of ration, war ration or something. That. It's so good. It's so good. And the chocolate base is a super moist cake.
I only tried it when you messed it up.
Wow.
And it was okay.
No, I'm going to have to make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're going to have cake next week.
Well, thank you all for listening today. And
Dating and Cake.
Yeah, now I really want a piece of cake.
Yeah, we're going to call it Dating and Cake.
If you enjoy our content, please subscribe, share, so we can keep on coming back and making good content for you guys.
Yes, people are loving us, but new people aren't hearing us because we need to
get in their faces.
Yeah, we need to be in their
in my face,
faces.
In your face.
My face, in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.